Yes, good morning guys. This is continuation of our discussion in Introduction to Criminology. Nandito na po tayo sa chapter 7 of our subject matter. No? Medyo mabilis at kahit pa paano umusad na tayo mga kaibigan. Kaya make it sure to watch all my video presentation that I presented to you. No? Sana wala kayong malaktawan kasi kapag may nalaktawan kayo guys, tapos nag-quiz examination natin, that will be reflected to you. Okay? Always remember that all the activities, quizzes that I given to you is handle nyo na siya guys. Handle nyo na kung paano nyo tatapusin yun. Especially for our activities because I had a lot of time that I given to you. Marami na akong binigay time sa inyo para tapusin yun. December pa naman ang katapusin yun pero make sure na hanggat maaari tapusin nyo na maaga para hindi kayo maghabol sa oras. Kaya tandaan nyo, kapag naghabol kayo sa mga oras na yan, kayo lang din naman na magsasakripisyo pagdating ng araw, hindi naman ako. Okay, we proceed to our subject matter guys. Theories of crime and criminal behavior. In terms of the subject matter introduction to criminology, we also studies about the theories. A lot of theories we have here in introduction to criminology. Theories about social learning theory, differential theory, and other subject matter na mayroong kinalaman dito sa ating introduction to criminology. Okay guys, kapag sa theories medyo siya guys. Medyo malalim. Pero yun, we need to understand what we need to have a theories. Ito guys, the importance of theories, ito yung kasi dito tayo sinimulang pinag-aralan, di ba? May mga teorya na katulad na papayag ba kayo? May mga teorya kasi guys na mayroong parang walang basihan. Pero may basihan pero parang ang layo, no? Papayag ba kayo sa teorya ni Charles Darwin na ang tao daw ay galing sa unggoy? Papayag ka ba na ikaw mismo sa sarili mo galing ka sa unggoy? Diba? Mayroong mga ganung teorya. At mayroon din mga teorya na ang crime daw ay normal in the society. Yes. Also, I agree that na crime is a normal crime is an ingredient to a normal society. No? Mayroon ganung teorya. Magkakaiba ng teorya ang bawat nagbigay ng kanilang mga contribution dito sa ating introduction to criminology. Not only in introduction to criminology but also in other subject matter. Theories of crime and criminal behavior is one of the subject that you going to conduct or you going to study in the future na kayo ay maging second year, third year. Yan guys, yung magiging subject yan. Ang sa atin lang, like always said, an introduction to criminology, we always intro, no? Paunang kaalaman para sa inyong mga mag-aaral. Okay? You need to study always. You need to focus to your study so that you have an idea in the future na ito, alam ko to, na pag-aralan namin nito nila Sir G nang nandun ako sa subject niya. Okay? What is criminal behavior? Unintentional behavior that violates the criminal law. Ang criminal behavior guys, ito ay isang intentional. Pag sinabi nating intentional, ito ay kagustuhan ng isang tao nang mag-violate ng crime na tinatawag natin. Criminal behavior therefore is beyond normal, beyond since it is used to describe conducts or action that do not belong to the standard behavior of mind. Ang criminal behavior ng isang tao guys ay paiba-iba. Minsan ikaw matino, minsan hindi ka matino. It's either you think wise before the act or before you action. Yeah, meron tayong rational, meron tayong irrational. Pag sinabi nating rational guys, you are full of your possession. Kumbaga alam mo yung ginagawa mo. Pero kapag irrational naman, ito yung mga bagay na hindi mo talaga alam o ikaw ay nagkakaroon ng insanity na tinatawag natin. Dumadaan ng mga tao sa mga ganyang bagay. Especially, we have a pandemic situation right now in the Philippines. But not only in the Philippines, but the world. In the whole world. Di ba? Yan yung, kaya mas lalong dumadami ang kriminal because of this pandemic. No? Kaya din ang utak ng isang tao ay parang naaaburido. Yung mga ganung bagay, di ba? Kasi yan, nakakawalan ng trabaho, kawalan ng makakain, kaya gumagawa sila ng mga bagay o panustos sa pangangailangan nila. May mga ganung mga tao, no? Hindi natin maiwasan because this is a part of criminal behavior of a human, no? It's either a man or women kung sino man ang gumawa ng ganyang bagay, ay depende sa tao at depende sa sitwasyon kung paano nyo nagagawa yung mga ganung bagay. So, we need to understand in criminal behavior kung paano nga ba tumatakbo ang utak ng isang tao. Okay? General approaches in the study of crime. There is a need to categorize or group these theories for the purpose of more systematic and simplified discussion. Meron tayo mga categories in terms of the studies of crime, no? Maraming categories yan, guys. Pag sinabi natin categories, ay ito ay hinihiwalay-hiwalay o pinaghiwalay-hiwalay upang mapag-aralan mabuti kung ano ba yung mga kategorya, kung saan ka ba nabibilang, yeah? Mga ganong bagay. The three general groups of criminal approaches are subjective, objective, and contemporary approaches. Ano ba itong mga subjective, objective, contemporary approaches? You see, pag sinabi nating subjective approaches, guys, subjective approaches deal mainly on the biological explanation of crimes. Pag sinabi nating subjectives, ito ay bumabase lamang dun sa biological, no? Biological explanation ng crime, kung bakit nagagawa ng isang tao ang crime because of the biological explanation of crimes. And guys, subjective explanation are focused on identifying the forms of abnormalities that was experienced by criminal before, during, and after committing the crime. Which is, guys, bago o matapos magawa ang isang krimen, ito yung subjective na tinatawag natin. No, ito yung kung ano nga ba ang dahilan kung bakit niya nagawa yung mga ganung bagay bago at pagkatapos ng krimen. We need to have an evaluation or a research kung paano niya nagawa yung mga ganung bagay. But accordingly, subjective approaches this only for biological explanation. Ibig sabihin, from the start of the beginning, from the start, they have meron na silang pagsakit sa isip, or sa simulat sa pulpa lang, meron na, nagsisimula na kagad na magbago ang kanilang utak, no? Subjective. Pag subjective approaches, we always remember the keyword. Ito ay para sa biological explanation of crime, na ang kailangan nyo na lang pagdating sa mga ganitong bagay, in terms na magkaroon tayo ng analytical thinking na tinatawag natin, or analysis on the situation or the question, you need to know the definition of terms muna, no? Kailangan nyo muna malaman kung ano bang ibig sabihin bago nyo sagutan ang mga tanong. Okay? Anthropological approach. Ito yung sa subjectives, guys, no? Because of biological explanation, nandito na tayo. Focus in studying the physical characteristics of offender in the attempt to discover physical differences between criminals and non-criminals. Ernest Hutton theory. According to Ernest Hutton theory, and also in other form of the theory like William Sheldon theory, Ernest Kretschmer theory, di ba meron sila yung mga body type na tinatawag natin na physical characteristic ng isang tao, di ba, yung pag mataba, pag mapayat, kapag macho, ano ba yung pwede nilang magawang crime. But according to Ernest Hutton theory, in anthropological approach, one of the subordinate or one of the kasama ng subjective approaches natin, ang anthropological approaches. Kapag sinabi natin sa subjective, biological, di ba? Dito napapasok din yung mga physical characteristic ng isang tao. Ngayon daw, makikita daw ang crime pagdating dito, paulit-ulit, no, na napapansin nyo ba? Na puro physical na pangangatawan, physical na pagkatao ng isang tao, dun daw nakikita ang kakayahan ng isang taong gumawa ng crime na tinatawag natin. Okay? We have medical approach. The application of medical examination on offenders in order to explain the mental and physical condition of the individual prior and after committing a crime. This is a positivist theory. According to medical approach, ang isang tao nakakagawa ng crime because of his mental health, because of medical evaluation na meron siyang sakit o meron siyang mga physical condition na hindi niya na makontrol sa sarili niya, no? For example, tinaningan na siya ng doktor na mamamatay na siya. Kaya ang ginawa niya, gagawa rin siya ng mga paraan para parang ibubuhos niya yung galit niya, di ba? Mga ganung bagay. In a physical condition also, in a medical approach, kung siya ay insane na o mayroon na siyang insanity na tinatawag natin, this will be trigger na gumawa ng crime na tinatawag din natin, no? Like I said guys, meron doon na meron talaga true to life story, napanood nyo naman niya siguro yun, yung kumain siya ng tae dun sa loob ng Korte Suprema para mapawalang sala siya. Pero like I said guys, there's always a thing that they need to know na ayan, we have psychometry, we have the psychiatrist na mag-iimbestiga regarding kung ikaw ay insane talaga, insane person ka, no? Pero that matter, no? Medyo alanganin yung mga ganung bagay. Okay? We have biological approach, the evaluation of genetics in explaining criminal behavior. Under this approach, heredity is the main factor that push people to commit a crimes. At nakalagay pa rin dyan sa ating positivist theory. Ang heredity daw, guys, ang pagmamana-mana ng mga pagmana-mana, pag ikaw ay meron tayo kasi mga biological approach or meron tayong mga heredity na namana natin sa mga magulang natin. For example, you are very smart person or very smart child, eh pagdating ng panahon talagang matalino ka. O kung ikaw ay isang tao na kriminal, eh there's a chances that you become a criminal also. But always remember, you are here at the college institution that you need to process kung paano ba maging mabuting tao. Okay? We have psychological approach, guys. Focus on the study of the nature of human beings, how they satisfy their physical needs. This approach explains that the cause of a crime is the deprivation of the physical body from the basic needs of life. Maslow theory. Sa physiological approach, guys, meron tayong Maslow theory. According dito, guys, ang isang tao, because of his need, because of the deprivation na hindi niya nakuha yung mga bagay o hindi niya nasatisfy ang kanyang sarili, sa mga bagay na mga pangangailangan niya, eh parang nagiging greedy, ibig sabihin kahaman. Kumbaga binigyan ka na, gusto mo pang umabuso pa. Parang gusto mo pang mas marami ka pang makuha ng mga bagay na ganun, di ba? Karaniwan sa Maslow theory also, si Abraham Maslow to, guys, meron kasi ang tao triangle. Makikita yata natin yan dito. Na meron tayong needs, meron tayong wants, meron tayong security, at meron tayong satisfactory. Dun sa dulo yata yun. Iba, may triangle of the Abraham Maslow. Kung ano ba yung ano ba yung theory niya. Ayan guys, ito pala. Physiological needs. Food, water, warm, rest. Ito yung simula tayo sa pinaka-basic. Ang tao, talaga guys, kailangan ng pagkain, kailangan ng tubig, kailangan ng pahinga para mabuhay. This is our basic needs. Safety needs. The second one is the safety needs. Security and safety. We need to have a security or safety to ourselves in order to survive in our environment. No? Kailangan natin ng tubig, kailangan natin ng pagkain, kailangan natin ng seguridad sa sarili natin, at kaayusan sa sarili natin upang mabuhay sa society natin. This is our basic needs. Ito yung mga pangangailangan na dapat hindi talaga mawala sa atin. We have psychological needs naman, guys. Belongings, love needs, intimate relationship, friends. Yes. We need a friends. We need to have a good relationship to others, no? Kailangan natin may magmamahal sa atin upang matugunan yung psychological needs natin. Okay? We have esteem needs, prestige and feeling of accomplished. Ibig sabihin nito, guys, accomplishment. Ibig sabihin nito, you are very satisfied na nakuha mo yung mga accomplishment sa buhay mo. For example, you are a student having a good standing right now. First year pa lang kayo, ay talagang inaano nyo na, pinipursu nyo na magkaroon ng good standing pagdating sa pag-aaral. So that in the future, they will be reflected. No? Pag nag-take ka ng board exam, you pass the board exam, that will be an achievement to yourself or accomplishment na meron kang natapos o meron kang nakuha. Pero like I said, pasan nyo muna yung curriculum bago kayo mag-ano dito sa esteem and needs natin. Lahat yan makukuha nyo, guys. Lahat yan, mga bagay na yan, makukuha nyo. Just a piece of reminder, you need to focus, you need to understand well, and also you need to sacrifice muna, no? Sacrifice today para days tomorrow. Ika nga, magsakripisyo ka ngayon para kinabukasan, meron ka mabubunga. Okay? We have self-actualization. Achievements one full potential including creative activities o self-fulfillment of needs. Pag sinabi nating self-actualization, guys, you achieve all the needs of your life. You pass the board examination, you pass the application for the PNP or other law enforcement agency, nakapasok ka na sa serbisyo, natugunan mo ng pangangailangan ng iyong pamilya. That will be the self-fulfillment of needs. Nagsimula ka sa mababa, sa basic needs, sumunod ka sa psychological needs na kung saan meron na nagmamahal sa'yo, nakabuo ka na ng pamilya, na nabigay mo na yung security na hinahanap nila. That will be the basic needs of the Marshall Theory. And the self-fulfillment needs, minsan dito yung pumapasok guys, yung pagiging gahaman natin, no? Nandiyan ka na sa tuktok. Hindi ka na makontento, no? Hindi mo na nabalikan kung saan ka nagsimula. Diba? Nagsimula ka from the beginning na wala ka talaga, walang-wala ka talaga. Ngayon, nandun ka na sa tuktok. Minsan guys, dyan na bumabagsak din ang kalooban o emotional or intelligent quotient ng isang tao. Diba? Yung agility conscience ng isang tao. Kumbaga agility guys, ito yung mga bagay na hindi na natin makontrol o hindi na natin masabi kung ano ba yung mga achievement na nagawa natin sa sarili natin. Yes, you have a lot of achievements pagdating dito sa self-actualization. Pero dito rin dumadating sa puntong na to guys, na parang may kulang. Parang gusto ko pang taasan. And dyan pumapasok ang pagiging gahaman o pagiging greedy ng isang tao. No? In order to survive to our environment, in order to survive in whatever you want in the purpose in your life, you need to be calm and also you need to be balanced to yourself. No? Kung ano meron ka, maging masaya ka na guys. Kung gusto mo pang tumaas, wag naman sana dumating sa punto na aapak ka ng ibang pagkatao ng ibang tao. No? Maging mabuting tao pa rin kayo pagdating sa ganyang bagay. No? Nakuha nyo ng lahat, be humble to yourself. No? Subjective approaches. Psychological approach, guys, explain that development of criminal behavior, deviation of normal behavior resulting to unpleasant emotions. It caused by the variation from psychological needs of a man. Theories of Freud and Maslow. According to psychological approaches and the subjective approaches, guys, this explain that the criminal behavior they have a result in the crime because of the hindi natugunan ng kanilang psychological na pangangailangan, no? Pag psychology sa utak din yan guys, yung emotion mo hindi mo na nakontrol, sa sobrang galit mo sa kapwa mo hindi mo na nakontrol, that will be result to criminal tendency o criminal behavior na tinatawag natin. This will be trigger na ikaw ay gumawa ng crime. Psychiatric approaches naman guys. Cause of the criminal behavior according to this approach is mental disease as diagnosed by trained authorized person in the positivist theory. Dito yung appellation emotion hindi mo na makontrol. Dito naman guys in terms of this matter in a mental status in psychiatric approach. Hindi ibig sabihin dito guys you are being diagnosed in the mental disease na meron ka na talagang sakit na hindi na mawawala sa iyo. That will be trigger to a person to commit a crime na tinatawag din natin. This a cause of the criminal behavior according to this approach. Okay? We have psychoanalytical sa approach. Explanation of crime based on the Freudian theory. This theory that criminals' behavior is caused by suppression of the basic drives of Freud theory. Ano ba yung sinasabing nating repression and suppressions? Meron ba yun dito? Ito guys. Okay. Dito pala. Ayan. Innate desire, pleasure seeking, aggressions, sexual impulse, moral, ethical values, parental, ego, mature adaptive behavior. Okay guys, just a brief explanation regarding this matter. Si id pala guys, ito yung mga sexual aggression natin. Pagkakaroon ng yung libido na tinatawag natin. Si superego guys, this is our conscience, no? Si ego naman, this is our pride to ourself, no? Pwedeng si ego maging guys, mature adaptive behavior. You have an ego to yourself na alam mo na kung anong tama sa mali, kung alam mo na kung paano mo i-control yung emotion na sinasabi natin. Ngayon, pag nagkamali ka, pag nagkamali si ego, papasok si superego. Ito yung conscience mo. Pagdating naman kay ID or innate desire o instinctive drives na tinatawag natin, ito yung mga libido, yung libog sa katawan mo, hindi mo na maiwasan, that will be created to a criminal behavior process. Okay? Objective approaches guys. These approaches deal on the study of groups, social processes, and institution. as factors that influence the human behavior. Sa objective approaches guys, ang pinag-aaralan naman natin dito ay yung mga social processes or institution. Ano ba itong mga to? Tingnan natin. We have geographic approach. Topography, natural resources, and geographical location and climate are factors that lead a person to commit a crime, according to Adolf Quetelet theory. According to geographic approach, guys, the population itself or the location that you been raised in the environment kung saan ka lumaki ay mayroon daw kinalaman yan sa paggawa ng krimen ng isang tao. Yes, they have a big factor regarding that matter guys, no? Kung saan ka lumaki, lalo na sa mga matataong lugar, no? Tapos nakita mo na mayroong talagang marami, lantaran ng kriminal na gumagawa ng crime, that will be affected to yourself, no? Magkakaroon ng epekto to sa sarili mo because of the geographic approach na tinatawag natin. We have ecological approach guys, the biotic grouping of men resulting to migration, competition, social discrimination, division of labor, and social conflict are factors that cause crime, according to Ezra Fart's theory. In ecological approach guys, ito yung mga in terms of migration, in terms na yan, pag lumipat ng isang tao, like the best example for that matter is yung mga nagmamigrate, di ba? Yung ibang bansa pumupunta dito sa Pilipinas, no? We have ecological approach na tinatawag natin. Because of the country, we have a country, no? Na tayo ay malayang bansa, mas gusto nilang pumupunta rin dito sa bansa natin. Like the Syria, medyo magulo dun. Ngayon, nagmamigrate sila dito. Ngayon, nagkakaroon ng conflict of interest na tinatawag natin. Because hindi kaya bago pa lang si Syria dito sa lugar natin, nagkakaroon ng conflict of interest, no? Kasi hindi nyo alam sa isa't isa kung ano ba yung approach na gagawin nyo sa isa't isa, no? Ecological approaches yan. That will be result to a competition. Magkakaroon ng competition yan na, for example din, yung sa yung mga sports, no? Sa mga sports na pupunta tayo, they have a competition to the different countries. At that ecological approaches, meron kasi minsan may racism na nangyayari, diba? Social discrimination to each ito ganyan ka, kayo sa inyo galing yung COVID, mga ganung bagay. That will be in ecological approaches na tinatawag natin. Biotic grouping of men resulting from migration, competition, social discrimination, division of labor, and social conflict are factors that cause crime. Because of competition, because of social discrimination, this is the factors kung bakit tayo ay nakakagawa ng crime na tinatawag natin. Okay? We have economic approaches. Yes, financial insecurity, inadequacy of the necessities to support life are important factors to criminality. By Robert King Merton's theory. According to Robert King Merton's theory, malaki rin po ang kinalaman ng ang ekonomiya ng isang bansa kung bakit ang mga tao ay gumagawa ng krimen. For example, kung naghihirap ang bansa natin ngayon, that will be a cause or trigger to a person to commit a crime. Ngayon, sa panahon natin ngayon, we are facing a pandemic situation. Like I said, this is the trigger, this is the reason why the person commit a crime. Because yan, nawalan ng trabaho, nawalan ng sapat ng pagkakitaan, nawalan ng kung ano-ano man na source of income, that will be trigger a person to commit a crime. We have social cultural approach. Causes of crime can be traced from effects of institution, economics, education, politics, and religion to the people by Albert Cohen's theory. According to social cultural approach naman guys, malaki po ang epekto ng institusyon ng pinanggalingan ninyo o pinanggalingan natin kung bakit ang tao ay nagkakaroon ng crime na tinatawag natin. Sa ekonomiya also, sa edukasyon, sa antas na edukasyon ng iyong pinairal. For example, kung mataas ang iyong pinag-aralan, tapos pumunta ka sa mababang lugar, grabe kang kumanlait, no? That be a reason to person to commit a crime, di ba? In politics, sa politika guys, lalo-lalo mag-e-election ngayon, that will be mga political dynasty, mga political propaganda ng isang tao, Tapos yan, nagpapatayan pa nga na the worst case scenario, nagpapatayan sila, no? The best example for that matter is the Ampatuan, no? The Maguindanao Massacre. Almost 44 person o mahigit pa, mga ilang tao ay namatay doon, nilibing ng buhay, no guys? That will be a cultural or socio-cultural conflict approach na pwede nating matawag doon. Okay? We have contemporary approaches. Ano naman po ba yung contemporary approaches na tinatawag natin? Criminologists today put an emphasis on scientific explanation of crime and criminal behavior. Yes, ang isang criminologist like me, we explain or emphasize kung ano ba yung mga scientific explanation kung bakit ang tao ay gumagawa ng crime na tinatawag natin. At nagiging criminal behavior ito upang ang isang tao ay ito ay gawin niya ng hanap buhay. Ito mga bagay na to. Okay, wait guys. Contemporary approaches are focused on the psychoanalytical, psychiatric, and sociological explanation of crime in an integrated theory. Ang contemporary approach guys ay mas nagpo-focus siya sa psychoanalytical, psychiatric, and sociological explanation. Okay? Integrated theory is an explanatory statement that combines idea or concept from different sources. Ibig sabihin guys, ang integrated theory, ito ay mga sari-saring idea o sari-saring statement ng mga iba't ibang tao o iba't ibang pag-aaral para ito ay para magkaroon ng solusyon doon sa tinatawag nating crime. Okay. We have theories of crime causation. Ano ba yung mga theories of crime causation na to, sir? Theory of observation and containment. Stephen Greenblatt in his 1988, or the invisible bullets. Capacity of the dominant order to generate subversion so as to use it to its own ends. The theory of observation and containment. Pag containment kasi guys, ito yung parang you are contented to what you have right now, no? Yung capacity mo na isang tao kung paano makokontento sa kung anong meron ka. Okay? According to Stephen Greenblatt in 1988, or the invisible bullets, no? Capacity and dominant order to generate subversion, no? Ano ba yung subversion? Masyado naman malalim yun, sir. Check nga natin. Okay guys, this is a version. A systematic attempt to overthrow a government by working from within, undermining subversion is being overthrow. An example of subversion is the coup d'etat that took place in Thailand 2006 when Royal Thai Army outstayed the Prime Minister. That's the example of observation guys, no? Medyo mali pala ako dun sa una kong sinabi. Ibig sabihin, sa theory of observation and containment, capacity of dominant order to generate subversion so as to use it to its own ends. Ibig sabihin guys, ang subversion, you overthrow the government. Pag sinabi natin overthrow, yung papalitan mo na yung gobyerno kasi hindi mo na gusto ang pamamahala. That will be a theory of observation. Okay? Differential association theory. Ito lumabas to, ilang beses lumabas sa amin to guys. 2 beses yata to. Sa akin. We take away for the examination. 2 beses yan, hindi ko na nga maalala yan. Pero, thankful, nakapasa ako dyan. Okay? Proposes that the people learn values, attitudes, technique, and motives for criminal behavior through their interaction with others. A learning theory of deviance. Edwin Sutherland, sociologist in 1939. These differential association theories guys, we are different in attitudes, we are different in values, we are different in techniques and motives, no? Magkakaiba po tayo ng ating mga values, attitudes sa iba't ibang tao. Wala pong magkaparehas ng pwede magkaroon ng magkaparehas na attitudes. Pero yan nga, like I said, kung ikaw ay nakatira ka sa Parating Mindanao, meron silang mga attitudes na hindi natin maalam, no? Meron silang mga values o moral values na iba rin sa atin, no? Magkakaiba. May mga iba na ganito sila magsalita, mga malalakas na boses, no? Tapos kapag nandoon ka sa lugar, parang parang magugulat ka, ba't mong sinisigaw, di ba? Mga ganung bagay. That magkaiba kasi tayo. Kaya nga differential association theories. Ibig sabihin, hindi po tayo pare-parehas ng pag-uugali at hindi po rin po tayo pare-parehas na kung anong meron tayo, di ba? that will be a cultural conflict, no? Magkakaroon din ng cultural conflict na tinatawag natin dyan. In differential association theories, like I said, this also the causes of the crime, why the people commit a crime, no? Kasi nga sa magkakaiba tayo, minsan nalilito ng tao kung sino ba yung susundin dito. Okay? Originally published by John D. Hewitt in The Delinquency in Society in 1991, contains that the problem behaviors children experience are consequences of the way they are treated by adults in their lives. Ito guys, sa theory of differential oppression, magkaiba. Dito kanina, differential association theory, dito naman, oppression. Kung ano daw anong pagpapalaki ng isang adult sa bata, ito daw ay magre-reflect pagdating ng panahon. Okay? Kung pinalaki mo ng bastos ang iyong anak, that will be reflected to the future events. Kaya ngayon pa lang, you need to be a good example to all children. Okay? We have rational choice theory. Pag rational guys, ito ikaw mismo ang gumawa ng sarili mo, no? Rational choice theory state that the individual use rational calculation to make rational choices and achieve outcomes that are aligned with their own personal objectives. Ibig sabihin guys, lahat ng bagay na ginagawa mo, lahat ng bagay na meron ka ngayon, lahat ng bagay na natapos mo nang gawin, that will be a result of your rational choices, no? Ikaw kasi ang pumili niyan. Kung saan ka ngayon, yun ka ngayon. Kung ganyan ka talaga. That is the rational choices of theory. Their results are also associated with the individual best self-interest. Ibig sabihin, may mga resulta daw na ang isang tao ay nagiging ganun para magkaroon ng tinatawag nating best self-interest. Kumbaga, mas importante yung sarili mo o mas importante rin yung pagpapalaga mo na kung anong iisipin ng ibang tao. Okay? Using rational choice theory is expected to result in outcomes that provide people with the greatest benefits and satisfaction given the choices they have available. In rational choices guys, it's either mali ang pinili mo or tama ang pinili mo. No, kaya nga rational. You have a good mind to choose what is right from wrong. No? You have a discretion kung ano ba yung tama sa mali. Ganyan din po ang pagdating dito sa rational choices theory. You are the person that choose what is right from wrong. Okay? We have routine activity theory guys, developed by the Cohen and Felson in 1979. We have three elements: a motivated offender with criminal intention and the ability to act on this inclination, a suitable victim or target, the absence of capable guardian who can prevent the crime from happening. These three elements must be converge in time, space for a crime to occur. Itong tatlong elemento ng routine activity theory natin guys, ito daw ay magiging epektibo kung nasa oras o tama yung paggawa nila ng krimen na tinatawag natin. Routine activity theory. Ibig sabihin guys, yan, motivated ng offender, yan, ability to act. Ang karaniwan niya guys, sa routine activity theory, pinag-aaralan niya bawat kilos mo. Anong oras ka pumasok, anong oras ka pag-uwi mo, anong oras ka umiihi sa banyo, anong oras ka pagdating sa opisina, anong oras ka nakakarating sa office nyo, ang mga ganun bagay. That is a routine activity theory. And according to this matter, in the number 3 guys, insutable victim or target. Ibig sabihin, pumipili sila ng mga biktima, ang mga bibiktimahin nila. It's either ito ay mahina o it's either ito ay napakagandang biktima because they can benefits, no? Maraming magiging benefits kapag ito ay nabiktima nila. And also guys, kapag nagkaroon ng absent of guardian o ibig sabihin wala kang kasama o wala ka kahit ikaw lang lagi mag-isa, that will be that time the routine activity theory na tinatawag natin ay papasok. Kasi napag-aralan ng gusto yung mga galaw mo. Okay? We have social disorganization theory. A theoretical perspective that explains ecological differences in levels of crime based on structural and cultural factors shaping the nature of the social orders across communities. In social disorganization theories guys, ini-explain po nito yung pagkakaiba ng ating mga kultura and also yung structural, no? Mga kultura guys, ibig sabihin kung magkaiba ang mga kultura natin, papasok na naman si cultural conflict. This social disorganization theory na to, yan nga, pagkawatak-watak ng mga paniniwala, pagkawatak-watak ng mga ecological differences nila, kung ano ba yung kanilang pinaniniwalaan talaga, that will be a social disorganization. Ibig sabihin, hindi na organize maigi. Kaya nga, no? Dito sa theory, guys, minsan titignan nyo lang siya sa, sa pinaka, niya, sa pinaka-title niya, di ba? Pag social disorganization, makikita mo kagad yung disorganization, no? Ibig sabihin, merong mga pagkawatak-watak na kagad to. Disorganized nga, di ba? Social learning theory. A theory of learning process and social behavior which propose that new behaviors can be acquired by observing and imitating others. Yes, like the best example for this matter, lagi kong sinasabi rin sa inyo, kung anong nakita ng bata sa matanda, tama sa paningin ng bata. That will be a social learning theory. Kaya kung anong pinakita mo, kung mali ang pinakita mo, tama yan sa paningin ng bata. Kaya ngayon, paglaki niya, yung i-adapt niya. That could be an imitating. No? Ino-observe ka niya, tinitignan niya kung ano yung mga ginagawa mo, and also ito yung magre-reflect sa kanya kung ano ba yung gagawin niya in the future. Okay? Strain theory. Ano naman po ang strain theory, mga kaibigan? This is created by Robert K. Merton or 1938. Sa nakikita nyo guys, so ang daming theory sir, ang dami, sobrang daming theory. Yes, kakaunti pa nga po yan eh. No? Kaya make it sure to know what is theory because in a midterm examination, I explained to you, no? Papakita ko sa inyo kung ano ba yung mga tanong dyan. Pag di nyo alam ang sagot, that will be reflect to you. Okay? State that society puts pressure on individuals to achieve socially accepted goals through the kill lack the means. This leads to a strain which may lead individuals to commit crimes like selling drugs or becoming involved in a prostitution as a means to gain financial security. Dito sa strain theory guys, because of the pressure, no? Because of the yung wala na siyang mapagkuhanan ng kanyang pangangailangan, o ibig sabihin dito guys ay hindi niya na ma-achieve yung goal niya sa buhay, that can be cause or lead to commit a crime. Yan yung strain theory. Because of the pressure, because of the lack of the means of in order to survive in the society, because of hindi niya ma-accept sa sarili niya na hindi niya na makuha yung goal niya sa buhay niya, that will be called cause or lead to the crime committed. Yan yung ating strain theory, no? We have labeling theory guys. Possess that self-identity and the behavior of individual may be determined or influenced by the terms used to describe or classify them. Pag sa labeling theory guys, we level, no, from the word itself, we level to others kung gaano tayo kagaling, o nililevel natin o kinakategorize natin ang isang tao, no? For example, si letter A magaling, si letter B mahina. Yung mga ganun, nililevel natin guys. That could be an influence, no? Magkakaroon ng classification regarding also in the crime itself, no? Sa mga crime na ginagawa ng isang tao. That the leveling theory. Nililevel natin kung ang isang tao ay nakagawa ng crime o ang isang tao ay gagawa pala ng crime. No, nililevel natin kung ano ba yung minsan nga ito rin yung pinagbabasehan sa living theory kung paano ba nila mapapa-improve yung crime na tinatawag natin. We have neutralization theory. Ano po ba to? When offenders consider committing deviant acts, they use various linguistic devices to neutralize the guilt associated with their actions. By relying on this neutralization, they can commit a crimes without bringing serious damage to their self-concept. Pag sa neutralization theory guys, ang isang tao ay nakaagawa ng crime because of the neutralize na. Okay, medyo malalim. Check natin guys nandito naman si Father of Google. Okay kasi guys, not perfect. I need to search also. Okay, neutralization. Tawag ko yan Ito. Yan guys, neutralization ay nasa sociology guys. Technique neutralization are theoretical series of methods by which whose commit illegitimate acts temporarily neutralize certain values within themselves, which would normally prohibit them from carrying out such acts, morality, obligation to abide by law, or so on. What are 5 techniques on neutralization guys? There are 5 techniques on neutralization: denial of responsibility, denial of injury, denial of victim, condemnation, or the condemners, and the appeal of the higher loyalties. Doon tayo sa pinakamalapit.
Tawag ka ma.
Neutralization techniques. Denial injury contains that no one was hurt by the offender's action, despite the fact that they were illegal or violated some rule. An example would be the drug dealer who was caught by selling drugs. Okay, nagets ko na guys. Wait lang, saan ba? Sa neutralization theory guys, ito, yung may mga bagay tayong na ginagawa o may mga bagay tayong nagawa na, pero ang concept natin o yung utak natin ay hindi tama, no? For example, kung inda ka na nga nakagawa ng crime, no? Nakita na nga on the spot yung crime na ginawa mo. Pero para sa iyo, hindi naman po crime yung ginawa ko, no? For example, nagbenta ka ng marijuana sa isang tao, tapos sasabi mo, hindi naman po crime yan kasi nakakatulong pa nga po ko sa mga tao kasi binenta ko siya kasi may sakit siya sa hika, no? May hika po siya para yan yung gumaling. Yan po yung source of the yan, medicine niya po, yung marijuana na yan, no? Yan sa neutralization theory, no? May mga bagay ka nang ginawa, because of yung guilt mo, parang hindi ka natansya mo sa sarili mo, parang wala ka na mali. Wala ka naman talaga mali sa sarili mo, pero ini-insist mo na wala ka talagang mali. Pero yun nga, like I said, there's always a crime na pag kinumit nyo guys, may batas na nagpaparusa, di ba? Siguro pwede nyo gawin yan sa ibang bansa. Conflict theory focuses on the competition between groups within society over limited resources. Conflict theory views social and economic institution as tool of the struggle between groups or classes used to maintain inequality and dominance of the ruling class. Pag sinabi natin sa conflict theory guys, ito yan. Competition between groups with society over limited resources. Ibig sabihin, meron tayo mga bagay na komplikado para sa ibang tao. Okay? Kaya like I said, dun sa conflict interest natin, if you are, kung ikaw ay dayo sa isang lugar, at hindi mo alam yung mga tradition nila, at hindi mo rin alam yung mga kultura nila, you need to adapt in order to survive. Lalo na yung mga nagmamigrate dito sa Pilipinas, they need to adapt in order to survive to our country. Because if they do not adapt in our country, that will be result na hindi sila mabubuhay o hindi sila magtatagal dito sa bansa natin, no? Yan yung conflict interest, conflict theories na tinatawag natin. Competition between groups with society or over limited resources. We have social contract theory. Says that people live together in society in accordance with an agreement that establish a moral and political rules of behavior. Some people believe that if we live according to a social contract, we can live morally by our own choice and not because a divine being requires it. Ibig sabihin guys, dito sa social contract theory, if we agree na magkaroon o maniwala o sumunod sa mga panuntunan ng ating mga batas na binigay ng ating mga kongreso na senado dito sa bansa natin, o nagkaroon tayo ng maayos na pagsunod sa mga batas na pinapanukala dito sa bansa natin, that will be a good, no? Kung lahat daw ng tao marunong sumunod, kung lahat daw ng tao ay naniniwala na magkakaroon ng morally upright individual, or yung mga choices natin, bago tayo gumawa ng mga choice action na masama sa ibang tao, iniisip natin mabuti, no? Ibig sabihin, dito sa social contract theory, kapag lahat daw po ito ay nagawa, the result is good, no? Wala tayong magiging resultang masama dito sa social contract theory. We have anomy theory guys. According to Durkheim's theory, was based upon the idea that the lack of rules and clarity resulted in psychological status of worthlessness, frustration, lack of purpose, and despair. And according to anomy theory guys, kung wala tayong sapat na kaalaman pagdating sa rules, regulation, o pagdating sa psychological status ng isang tao, you know, ito daw ay nagiging result din sa isang crime na tinatawag natin. Because ngayon, hindi natin alam kung ano yung rules and guidelines pagdating sa, for example na lang, pagdating sa school, no? Kapag hindi nyo alam yung mga, hindi nyo alam yung rules, hindi kayo na-clarify kung ano ba yung mga kailangan nyo gawin, that will can lead to the, yan guys, magkakaroon kayo ng epekto, o magre-result to sa epekto na hindi nyo naunawaan kung ano ba yung rules and guidelines pagdating sa school, no? In anomy theory, guys, yan. Because of that, if you do not follow the instruction or you do not follow the rules and guidelines in the school, that will be reflected to you. Okay? Kasi ito nga, guys, according dito, check ulit natin, no? Medyo narito na naman ako. Anomy theory. Yan, example. For example, a society does not provide enough jobs that pay living wage so that people can work survive. Many will turn to criminal methods of learning so living. So for Merton, deviance crime are enlarged. Ano ba to? Ito pala. Ayan guys. In anomy theory guys, yan, breakdown of social order as a result of the loss standard and values normalness. Ibig sabihin guys, hindi mo na kayang ano ba yun? Ilito ka. Ito guys, nakikita niyo yung picture yan. Ito. Because of the hindi ka na napapansin ng society natin or wala nang pakialam ang society sa iyo, no? Because of your lack of rules, hindi ka marunong sumunod, that will be cause to the crime, no? Kasi hindi na nila napansin yung kalagahan mo, no? Yan sa anomy theory natin na tinatawag, that will be cause in a crime situation. According this also kay anomy, Robert Merton's also, disparity between promises of prosperity and opportunity to realize success. A. Cardinal American virtue. Ambition promotes a cardinal American vice, deviant behavior. Ibig sabihin guys, kung dito nagkakaroon ng disparity between promises, prosperity. Nalilito ako dito sa anomy. Wait guys like I said guys, we are also studying. No? Mayroong mga bagay talaga na hindi na natin maalala din. Kaya nga pinipilit nating alalahanin, no? Anomy, anarchy. According to Deakin, anomy is a reaction against of the retreat from the regularity, social controls of society in its completely separate concept from anarchy, which is absent of effective rulers or leaders. Anarchy denotes the lack of rulers, hierarchy, and command, whereas anomy denotes lack of rules, structure, and organization. Ibig sabihin pala dito guys, sa anomy yun, nagets ko na. If you have a lack of rules or structure in the organization, this will be affected to you also, no? Kasi ito ay magiging epekto rin sa isang tao kung walang sapat na rules and regulation, structure, organization sa isang grupo. Sa anomy theory daw guys, ito ay magiging cause ng crime na tinatawag natin, no? Kasi nga napalayo ka na sa grupo, hindi mo na alam kung sino yung dapat sundin, hindi mo na alam kung sino yung dapat paniwalaan. That the result of the anomy theory. Okay? Daming guys, theory, no? Minsan nakakalito na rin talaga. We have differential identification theory. A person pursues, tapos na tayo dito sa anomy guys A person pursues criminal behavior to the extent that he identifies himself with real or imaginary person from whose perspective his criminal behavior seems acceptable. In this differential identification theory guys, ito naman, tinitignan natin kung ano yung mga identity, no? Kasi merong mga guys, parang modus operandi, no? Meron pong iba't ibang uri ng kriminal o meron iba't ibang pamamaraan ng isang criminal group, no? Mga grupo kung paano sila gumawa ng crime na tinatawag natin. Doon sila ma-identify, no? For example, sa Sige-Sige Gang, no? Meron silang meron silang parang MO o modus operandi. Meron silang mga yung tatatak sa tao, no? Yung basag kotse gang. Pag binasag mo yung kotse, alam na kagad kung sinong gang yung gumawa niyon. Kaya nga basag kotse gang. Tapos meron pang dura gang, no? Yung duduraan ka tapos kukunin yung pera mo, no? That is the identity of criminal, no? Differential identification of theory. Ibig sabihin, magkakaiba po ng pamamaraan ang bawat kriminal na gumagawa ng crime. Okay? We have imitation suggestion theory. Pag imitation, parang madaling tignan, madaling yun, no? Gabriel Tarde. Ito yung gawa ni Gabriel Tarde, galing kay Gabriel Tarde. Most people are not invented, but only copy what they see from other people. Yes. Ang mga tao ay hindi naman invented. Hindi sila masyadong magkaroon ng evented o hindi sila masyado gumagawa ng sarili nila talaga. Pero mas ginagawa ng tao na kumopya kung paano ginawa nilang crime dun sa iba, no? For example, you as a person, no, nakakita ka ng crime na gano'n, parang kakaiba. You imitate, no? Para hindi ka na mahirapan kung paano ba gumawa ng crime. For example, also in imitation, if you are a person that idolize other people like the rapper, no? Yun my idol is in rapper, is Kastakli, no? Makikita mo siya, no? Parang ina-imagine mo rin sarili mo, ini-imitate mo yung sarili mo na magaling ka rin, no? Na talagang pinapakita mo na kaya ko rin yan, yung mga ganung bagay. Tarde codified his ideas in the 3 laws of imitation. May 3 idea po si Gabriel Tarde pagdating sa imitation. Ano nga po ba itong mga to? The law of close contact. Ibig sabihin, mas malapit ka sa kanya, mas madali mo magagaya ang mga ginagawa ng tao. The law of imitation of superiors by inferiors. Ibig sabihin, this one, kung meron kayong leader, kung magaling ang iyong leader, you imitate the leader in a good way, no? Pwede rin in a bad way kung ito'y kriminal. The law of insertions. Ano ba insertions, no? Lalim na naman. Mga bagay talaga guys, hindi na natin maalala, no? So, we need a Google. The act of process putting something into something else, no? Ang hirap na. The act of process na naman, guys. It could be used alliterate to describe, for example, the insertion of page in binder. Okay. Ito sa insertion, guys, ay mga pinagsama-samang mga idea o mga imitation process na ginawa mo, no? Ayan yung sa insertion. Kumbaga, lahat ng mga bagay na nakita mo, ay ginaya mo na. Okay, conflict of culture theory. Yan. Madali yung paliwanag ito, guys. Also known as cultural deviance theory. Kanina parang nasabi na rin, pero almost the same sila. This theory suggests that a crime is caused by due to the clash of values that arises when different social groups have different ideas of accepting behaviors. In conflict of culture theory, guys, ang pinagkakaiba ay mga values o mga difference ng mga kultura dito sa lugar, no? Kasi magkakaiba po tayo ng kultura. Hindi po tayo pare-parehas ng kultura. May mga bagay na dun sa lugar nila, ganito yung ginagawa nila. Pero mga bagay na dito naman sa lugar natin, hindi po natin ginagawa yun, no? Yan yung cultural conflict of culture theory. Okay? We have containment theory by reckless. Ano ba yung containment theory by reckless? A form of control theory proposed by Walter Reckless. Galing mismo kay Walter Reckless, ang dali niyan. In the 1940s and 1960s. The theory contends that a series of external social factors and internal qualities effectively insulate certain individuals from criminal involvement, even when ecological variables induce others to engage in crime. Ang containment theory po na tinatawag natin according to Reckless, we have external social factors and internal qualities, no? Nagiging epektibo po ang crime o paggawa ng crime depende kung saan ka magaling. It's either this an internal or is this an external. Kung paano mo mai-involve yung mga sarili mo sa paggawa ng crime, no? Kasi meron na, for example, you are direct in the company, na talagang direkta ka, gusto mong nakawin yung buong kumpanya, buong yaman ng kumpanya nyo, that will be internal. Pag external naman, guys, ayun, lagi ka lang nasa labas, kung paano ka ba makagawa ng mga series of act o series of external social factor, kung paano mo ba masisiraan yung mga ganun, diba? Pwede nating example dito yung mga double agent, no? Meron mga ganun na kasapi siya sa isang lugar, kasapi siya sa isang kumpanya, pero kasapi din siya sa isang kumpanya, yung mga double agent na yan. Thank you na naman, guys, no? That is the all study that I have today in the mga theories na to, guys. Ano ba to? Tingnan natin. Yan, theories of crime and criminal behavior. Yan. Ito ipopost ko ulit sa aking YT channel so that you can watch it, no? I always watch my video presentation, guys, because all the details that you need in examination is nandito po lahat, no? Kaya make sure to watch, kasi kapag hindi nyo binasa maigi o hindi nyo inintindi mabuti, ay this will be reflected to you, no? Lagi kong reflected na naman sa amin, sir. Yes, hindi naman sa akin, tapos na ako dyan, guys. Kayo naman, Okay? Maraming salamat sa inyong pakikinig. Hanggang sa muling pagkikita mga kaibigan. Bye-bye.